Okay, so if you don't mind sharing this with us, what's the biggest deal you ever received?
The biggest deal that I ever received. I was about to say I can't say it. I mean, I can't really say it. I mean, at one time, it probably was like $1 deal. But it could have been more. I could tell you more so the biggest deal I turned down.
That was my next question. What's the biggest deal you had ever turned down?
My mom could vouch for this. The biggest deal I turned down was like $90 million. $90 million.
But I just know you had a reason why.
Yeah, it was two offers for the same deal. One was a $25 million deal. It came with 2 jets. It came with a 1 million square foot vertical building. This was all, what is this?
But say, what was this?
The end of 2022 going into 2023.
Okay.
That did. And then the other one was a $90 million deal. But so the reason why I passed up the $90 million deal, because they was just going to own everything. And I'm not against people owning certain things, but they was going to own everything. They was going to own all of my music. They was going to own
you.
Me, exactly. Because they was going to need me to run it, but I was going to be a worker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, to hear me clearly, you know, even Jeff Bezos, who made Amazon, he only owns 13% of Amazon. But he didn't dilute that quick. You know, dilute is when you take your percentage of your equity down. He didn't dilute as quick. So I just felt like I was a little early to sell that much. Everything. And then last but not least, the way the long form contract looked, it would have made all my people more like they would have been slaves to. I would have been straight, but they would have been. So I thought I did the right thing with it. It was hard. I ain't gonna cap.
That was a big deal.
That's a big because I built up a business so much to exit. Exit strategy is when you build it up so much just for people to buy. Like me and Jarvis was talking earlier about, you know, Taylor Swift, you know, we were saying, who was that? Justin Bieber, you know, sold his masters for $200 million. Lil Wayne sold his for $100 million. So you build, you know, it's just like a house. If you build a house and then you want to sell it, you know what I'm saying? It's fair. If you want to sell it to me, don't come back later and say, well, I'm broke now. I want my house back. That's not fair. So people build stuff to sell it. However, it was a little bit too over cumbersome. I had to pass it, man. So it's going to come back around.
You see how you made me feel like, 90?
I told my daughter and my kids the other day, my daughter, Lauren, almost had a heart attack. You know, my mom witnessed it too. Like she gonna talk about it. My mom even was like,
I want to hear a lot from Mom Duke.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to interview Mom Duke to be like, Mom Duke,
for sure.
Let me tell me.
We'll probably do like a second part of the interview.
With Mom Duke?
And then we're going to do that. Because I actually want her to tell, because she can
say more than
she's seen it.
Because I feel like it's only so much you can say for yourself versus where your mom or your dad or whoever can speak, you know, because like my mom knows who I am more than you does, more than the world does, you know, so, and then some of my ways, she knows that you don't know. So it's like, I want to know what Mom Duke got to say, like, Mom,
we're
gonna talk to you.
We're going to do that, man. When we get back, we're gonna do that, because I think that'll be a nice touch to this, because like you said, there's only so much I'm going to say. There's only so much I will say, and there's only so much I can say. But she's seen it. And I literally got physically sick after I turned down. You know, I'm going to be honest with you. The $90 million deal was easier to turn down than the $25 million deal. Because the $25 million deal, I had already wrapped my mind around, because again, it came with 2 jets. It was going to come with 2 jets. It was going to come with a 1 million square foot vertical building downtown Chicago. Ooh. It was going to come with, you know, like I said, 25 million. 10 of that was going to go for production. The other 15 was going to go for marketing and stuff like that. And then that wasn't even the purchase price that so it was hard for that one, because it's the way the dude did it. You know, we did 3 you know, you typically have 3 major documents when you get ready to sign a contract. The first document is a LOI, letter of intent, right? That's just basically saying, hey, Carmen, I'm interested in buying a business. You know, you can't court anybody else. It's kind of like somebody putting a ring on your finger, like,
nobody else can put that ring.
Nobody else can put it. So you mind. You got to work out the particulars before we get married. Then the second part is the deal memorandum. The deal memorandum is like you say, okay, Carmen, I'm going to pay you $25 million for Carmen Enterprises. I'm going to give you this, this, and that. In exchange, you have to give me this, and that. So we did both of those. The third document is the long form contract, and that's where your attorneys get in and just kind of embellish what the deal memorandum said. And so when we got to the long form contract, man, this dude changed so much stuff. He was like, because that deal for 25 mil was supposed to be, I think it was 25 mil for 60-40. I own 60, he owned 40. And by the time the long form contract came back, he owned 70, I owned 30. He just went crazy. And that just...
Tried to finesse you.
He tried to finesse me hard because he thought I was a slave to the money already.
Right.
Because I had already started spending the money. Not spending it, but like in my head, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get that. I'm going to put this on that floor. Like if you
already know what to do with it.
Man, what? So because we was having conversations, me and him was talking every day. The dude, like he loaded, billionaire, real estate, tycoon. Owns so many, like these type of buildings, like in Chicago. He owns, man, the dude is amazing, but just he was just shady. So I had to walk away from that. So that hurt me. I'm like, oh, man. I was sick for a week. My mom had to check on me. And she was even like, man. And my mom, but she just taught me to do the right thing. She was like, doing the right thing is always the right thing to do. And so I feel like it'll come back around, even bigger.
I would say it's going to be way bigger than it was the first time.